a better manager would get better results out of these players. That's obvious. But a better manager would not make this group of players a championship team. I think we can agree on that. Right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, right? So the limitations that you have now from Manchester United, regardless of the manager, is the fact that this is a group of players that did not even compete against Manchester City. They were not even on the field to compete. And that, as much as it is a reflection on the manager, I also have to say it's a poor reflection on the players. In that they were happy to lose that game 2-0. They were happy to accept their position as an inferior team to Manchester City and say, you know what, guys, we'll take the 2-0 and we'll be fine with this. It's okay. Damage control. And you're Manchester United, and you're at home, and you're not even competing. To me, this result and this game and this performance was actually worse than losing to Liverpool in the manner in which they lost. Because it was a resignation from Manchester United as a club in terms of being competitive at the elite level against teams like Manchester City. That, to me, is the reason to get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, not the fact that he can make his players better, because I don't think this group of players would be substantially better. They certainly would be more competitive. And I think that's the reason to move on from Solskjaer.
On Friday's show, that Craig just referenced, we discussed what would be acceptable for United in this game. And I said I think United would quite happily take a narrow loss. Mm-hmm. Craig and Jan were adamant that there's no way that anybody in that dressing room is or should be thinking that way.
Right.
Yet here we are now, 48 hours after that game, and this is the message that the captain is putting out. That, that was tough, but we'd be better. You know, I mean, it's to Craig's point on Friday, it's ridiculous that this squad of players is as accepting of their mediocrity as they are. It really, really is.
Well, it's not just the players, Shaq. I mean, let's think about the second half when they were already getting demolished and they had to get back in the game. And I agree, they had no intention of trying to get back in the game. It was just damage limitation. I mean, that's how embarrassing it was. But when City were passing it around, you know, and that was the thing. The clock was ticking down. I was watching it 73 minutes, 75, 78 minutes. I'm thinking, you can't score if you don't have the ball. I mean, and that's the thing. So here's a United board, right? Here's Sir Alex Ferguson as maybe still a consultant. He's definitely got an ear in the boardroom, and all the investors and the Glazers back in the States or whatever. City are passing it around like it's some pre-season friendly against the Dog and Duck 11, and the Man City fans in the corner are singing "Ollie's at the wheel" and some derogatory stuff. And all of a sudden on Monday or whatever it is, today, they're putting out a statement, Man United or whatever, saying, no, we're going to sit tight at the moment. I mean, how much more embarrassing does it need to get before somebody's going to say, do you know what? Even if we have to do what we did when Mourinho left by appointing somebody interim until we can find somebody, it has to be surely better than what has been put on the field at the moment and what has been worked on in the training field, because it is diddly squat.
Who then, Ian? If they sacked Solskjaer tonight, who would they get in?
Well, that is difficult because, as the boys were explaining there, a lot of the elite managers and coaches are taken at the moment. But I do think they need something different. And even if they keep Solskjaer, why doesn't he go out and get a top defensive coach? Because the guys, you know, who are working with the players at the moment are not getting the job done. There are pretty basic errors in the Liverpool game. There was a completely uncoordinated press when they tried to press forward. Players not picking other players up, no pressure on the ball. Pep Guardiola said in the second half, we kept the ball in the fridge. That was his phrase. We just kept the ball away from United, and it proved very easy for them to do. And I think he's got to think about the selection as well. Why not play Edinson Cavani more than he is alongside Cristiano Ronaldo? You've got two of the greatest strikers in the world there with their movement, and get Fernandes and Pogba when he's fit to pick passes for them. Leave out Fred, just play McTominay at the base of the midfield. Maybe then you've got a bit more chance of asking some questions of the opposition. I think on Saturday, they'd remembered what happened and how they were mauled and ripped to pieces by Liverpool, and they played frightened. They sat there, they hoped they might be able to counter, but quite quickly they went one down, and the rest you know.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.